What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Trucker GM Show. We are live on a Sunday evening. Got a little Imagine Dragons playing. I tell you, I've been having big problems with copyright stuff, and well, it's not as bad as I remember back in season one when I first started making videos and using music. I would run into certain copyright that was a real problem because you would be blocked in lots of different countries, and sometimes it would be America, which means nobody could watch it. Well, I hadn't been running into those problems. It's just, you can't monetize the video. Which, I mean, not that, it's all about the money or whatever, but it's pretty cool getting a check from YouTube, every every month, and that justifies some of the money I want to spend on gear because I've got it's always awesome when I go back and well, it's not always awesome when I go back and look at old stuff, but sometimes it's awesome when I go back and look at old stuff and I talk about, what I'm going to do. And then I'll say, well, hell, that's already been done. And, I got this MacBook now. Hell, I'm working on my second MacBook right now. And, two Canon cameras, a drone, and I've got some other new things. And I was considering doing a review video. I've got it laid out. I'm going to show you guys these things. Is my audio okay? I think it's coming out of these headphones that I got on. I hope so. You're going to wear headphones. But I've got these things over here. There's a NutriBullet. There's RGB lights that you can get 300 colors out of this. There is a Wonder Boom Bluetooth speaker. This is a flashlight that's freaking awesome. It's got like magnets on two things that'll just stick on stuff. But when you hold it, it like gets dim and then it gets bright. Pretty cool. And then I hadn't tried this yet, but it's shampoo. It's 100% aloe juice first ingredient. It's bamboo fibers shampoo for weak, brittle hair. Densify, revive, strengthen. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not bald or anything like that, but my hair was getting it's a little thinner. Sometimes coming out in my hands in the shower. I mean, it does it sometimes and it stops. But I think, hey, I'll get some shampoo to see if it thickens up my hair. I'm growing my hair out a little bit, guys. Like I went to the barber shop the other day and I just got a trim and a cleanup. What used to be a $35 haircut was only $15 because it wasn't really a haircut. It's just a texture and a trim. So let me know in the comments what you guys would rather see a review video. It's not going to be a review in this video. So, the people that watch this after the fact, your voting matters too, not just the 34 people that are live here with us, and only 4 have thrown a thumbs up. If you could, thumbs ups are good. But I also got this NutriBullet. Now this was $79.99 at Best Buy, which is where I got it at. I get a lot of a lot of these things, including these headphones, which come in this case. I can review those too. Those are on the list. They're Bose. But it was $79.99, which it comes with like 2 cups, one just a regular drinking cup and another one of those like shake it up, take it with you kind of cups. But it's supposed to be blasted. Hopefully it'll work in the truck. It's I think a 900 watt motor, so we will test the inverter system here on the LT if that's what you guys choose. But let me know what you think would be something good to review. And I've got all kind of green stuff. Like I got aloe juice and broccoli and cucumbers and I don't know. I got a couple of other things. Avocados, almond milk. I got some mango, which guys, I weighed myself a while ago. I'm like in the 183-pound range from, a peak at like 220. But like when I really started, going keto, I was like 212 then and down to like 183 pounds. And I feel freaking awesome. And I'm starting to think one of those goals I set back in 2017 is starting to be a thing. Anybody want to remember what that goal was? It's kind of funny. And like, you truckers probably don't want to really think about it. But like the title of this video said, season 3, it's over. Okay. This video will be the last one of season 3. And then, obviously, 169. You do not weigh 169 pounds, Oscar. Because he's like 6'8" or 6'7" or something like that. But yeah, season 3 it is over, and I know it was kind of discombobulated. I sat down and wrote down a few things for this video of things that occurred in season 3. Which, if you remember, season 3 started around August or so, I think, maybe July, somewhere in there. I'll have to go back and look, tell you the exact dates of last year, though. You know, season 2 had a little bit of Maverick, but the majority of it was my time here at GMP. And I forgot what the whole thing was season 3. Oh, I remember. Here's what happened. It started out with a rant, and I lost some viewers apparently. One of them was old Scott Nelson, truck driving guy. You guys have seen him in a couple of videos. That's Misty's brother. I don't know. He thought I was a little dark or whatever. He just tuned the hell out and didn't watch again until right here recently. So he missed most of the whole Elvis thing. But I went on a little rant about doing the videos the way I want to do them. Unless you ain't paying me to do videos, your opinion don't count. And obviously, I offended some people when I said that. And it's like, the hell with you? I watch somebody else. You know, who do you think you are? But from that day, I went 33 days in a row with making a video, and all but just 2 or 3 of them were edited videos, drone footage kind of stuff in there. And, you know, that was a little achievement. You know, first I wanted to make it to the 21 days, and I kept going at 30 days. I kept going a little more at 33 days. Elvis had already joined the journey then. And I don't know, we got on this, like, the Whammums thing after there. And actually the channel kind of lost momentum and viewership. I've been tracking the numbers here recently. Uh, like, for an example, there's 46 of you on here. Like, during the peak of that, there would be close, you know, like 150 knocking on the door, 200 on a live video during that time. But, you know, lost some during that time. Well, Elvis joined the journey. We started doing the Whammums thing, which that really never took off. But hey, the handful of you that did a Whammums video, thanks a bunch. That was awesome. Uh, you know, I hadn't really listened to Walk a Mile in My Shoes in a while. I'll have to put that on later. But also, well, Elvis joined the journey, so that was cool. You know, we sang a few songs. He strummed a guitar, but we ended up parting ways, and I got a new truck. But we also, Elvis and I, got well, it wasn't a brand new truck, but it was new to us. It was one of those new Cascadias. But then I got a brand new truck, this LT. And right around that time, I also started changing the way that I eat. I started eating keto. I started being aware of the carbs that I ate. So, like, sugar was a bad thing. So, like, stuff that had sugar in it, I tried my best not to eat. And y'all, that's a lot. That ain't exactly easy to do. You know, when you're a trucker, and I mean, because there's a lot of things you see that ain't on the list, like chips or anything potato wise or rice wise or bread wise. Are you kidding me? Bread wise, that takes out cake, pies, you know, all the pastry type thing. That takes out burgers, you know, as far as a sandwich, chicken sandwich, all that stuff. And wraps ain't like a whole lot better on that. So needless to say, I ate a lot of nuts and beef jerky and eggs, but I hadn't ate enough eggs. But I started changing the way they ate, not eating sodas, and I started doing something that I like sort of poked fun at Red Viking Trucker a while back, because he was actually doing this, you know, probably a year or more before I did, as far as putting butter in your coffee and coconut oil. And there's a couple other things you can do too. Blend it up, you know. Some people call it bulletproof coffee, keto coffee. So, you know, that became like a regular thing. And I like, I've I did it today. I'll do it tomorrow. But because of all that, I'm like almost 30 pounds lighter, guys. Like, look at that. I'm not even hardly like sucking in. It don't hang over. It's awesome how much better than I can move. But that's happened over the course of season 3. And I bought a Chevy truck. Yeah. I remember in all these other videos, you would always see me in that Ford Escape, pulling up. I mean, I was thankful to have it. It's reliable transportation, didn't let me down. But I traded it in, and I got a Chevy Silverado High Country 4-wheel drive. It's an awesome, awesome truck that I love. Also, during season 3, I became the media director for GMP Trucking. And I didn't like take some guy's place. I called the president up, which I'd already had a relationship with, and said, "Hey, I got an idea as far as the communication problem that we've been having, with the drivers, where, we're all on the same page. And if when, like changes happen and everything, how to get, it out to them, like just sending out a Qualcomm message don't really seem to do enough. So we met. He bought me lunch. We talked, and he said, "That's a good idea. I'm in." But, there's, 4 other officers at GMP Truck, and he needed to talk with them. But also, I needed to talk to the next one, the senior vice president, Greg Grubbs. I'm like, all right. And, a week or two went by, and we scheduled that. I told him, the idea that I had, which was really based around doing videos that would be on YouTube that any of our drivers could watch any time of day, sitting in the driver's seat, back in the bunk, or whatever. And I developed a certain skill set that I thought was rare that they could find nowhere else. Somebody that could crank out content efficiently, that would be quality, that would have good sound, that would be from a truck driver's perspective, because his content is for truck drivers. Because I've never, like, Mr. Parker is very driver centric and for the truck drivers. Just so you know, it ain't yakety yak 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 talk with Mr. Parker. He's the real deal on that. Like, his daddy was a truck driver, so he was a little boy being raised by a truck driver, and he was even a truck driver. He was working his way through college before he became president. That for like 33 years, almost 34 years of a truck driving company. So that's pretty awesome, and I'm gonna highlight that every chance I get, because hell, I wouldn't be a good media director if I didn't, because that's awesome. But anyway, I started doing that, which is, guys, I'm so excited about it. I mean, I'm pumped, like, for multiple reasons, but multiple reasons. Here's one of them, though. It's a step towards my long-term goal dream that I have, which is there's 3 stories that I want to tell, that I can't even say movies anymore. I think these are going to be more series than movies. That's kind of the way, good content is nowadays. But in order to be able to do that, I got to figure out how all that stuff works. So, well, being a meeting director for GMP, that's going to be one step. And the cool thing about it is, Trucker Jim don't work weekends no more, and his dispatcher knows this. So I'm not going to go drive a truck around on Saturday and Sunday anymore. I work Monday through Friday, and I'm on it, y'all. I am on it. Like, for you guys that hadn't been to the GMP channel, I think the last 3 weeks I've put 3 videos up on GP's channel each time, and they're good. Every one of them, they continue to get better with each one. They do, and they're not long. None of them are over 10 minutes. Like, there's a 4, a 5, 7 minutes has kind of been the sweet spot on it. And I've only been in about maybe half of them. The other half is somebody other than me. Like, the training coordinator showed how to use the fuel pumps at the at the terminal. And you don't know how many drivers at GMP that tried to fuel up, couldn't figure out that whole alpha thing and said to hell with it and ain't never tried to fuel up again. But I know there's going to be more drivers fueling up at terminals now, and there's advantages of that. We have showers and towels and stuff here, so losing a shower credit ain't that big of a deal. When we have, our southeastern terminals that drivers can park at, no problem compared to a truck stop. But anyway, I became the media director for GMP in season 3. And let's see. Oh, yeah. And I live in a truck. That's right. Like, my address is SL9048. Like, I don't have a home to go back. I mean, I got a home I pay for in Newbern, but hopefully that's going to be selling soon because ex-wife and the kids aren't living there anymore. And, well, Misty's got another roommate. And, I mean, I am absolutely, there's no other way to say it. I live in this truck. Even though sometimes it's sitting still for a few days, like at the rear yard or in Columbia because I'm doing media director stuff. But this week I'm going to be driving 4 days. But all of that's happened in season 3. And here's the thing on living in a truck. Okay, I'm doing this media director thing, but I'm not doing it on the weekends. So I'm in I don't have anything I can show yet, but I'm going to work on projects with other people. What? I don't know. Like, I'm down for anything interesting. I am. I'm not going to put a limit on, I'm only going to do this kind of thing. I want to do all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. I am game for whatever. Because for the next 3 years is to develop my skill set. And by then, well, I'm not going to talk about what's going to happen 3 years from now. But that's what happened in season 3. Actually, I am going to start talking about some stuff. Well, actually, let me review the comments. Let me see if I can get it pulled up here on the MacBook. On the MacBook. Okay, we're going to mute that. And all right, here we go. Let me make this big. And we're going to read some comments, people. I hope everyone is having a good Saturday night. But we got Po Boy and Tommy Creamer and Smooth Operator in here. The plug says start a whiskey still and run moonshine. You can haul a lot in your truck. I'm probably not going to do that. Candace and Tim's in the house. And Damien, Tiny, how are you, man? You still at the airport? It's getting about retirement time, ain't it? I can't keep up with the timeline. I know you done told me a bunch of times. Okay, Corey Rogers. Misty Nelson, are you still in here, Misty? Misty and I hung out this weekend, and it was cool. Corey Rogers, trucking journey is what we'd rather see. We'll talk more about that in a second. But there are hundreds of trucking journey episodes. I was watching some this weekend, and my style and the quality of change. I mean, tremendously on all kind of levels since that first season. But at the same time, it was still me. During there, I was just like very, very green into trucking and making videos too. But there's still a lot of the same things I was talking about in those first few weeks. I still talk about today, which is kind of cool. Food moods. Your retirement in 2018. No, not retiring, man. Not at all. I do want to retire at 65 years old, so I've got 21 more years. That's why Video Purposes 44 has that number 40. Well, that's not the only reason, but because Video Purposes without a number wasn't available. But Video Purposes 44 is to remind me how old I was when I started that, and I got 21 years from, a little bit ago before it's time to retire. And for me, a retirement is not so much an age, it's a number, and that number is 5 million. I just have to have the 5 million before I retire, and then I can retire and I can do what I want to do with $5 million. Let's see. Just bought a 12 Max. I saw your picture of your 2012 Maxima. Maximas are awesome cars. One of my favorite cars I ever had. I think it was a 90. I think it was a 97 Maxima. Man, I love that car. It had like 500,000 miles on it when the motor finally went out. Misty, oh, listen to this, guys. Misty was inspired to lose 63 pounds and it inspired me in many ways. Misty, that is awesome. 63 pounds. Y'all, like Misty is looking hot now. Like she's kind of got that, like, you know what I'm talking about, guys? That little, dip in the waist, little hourglass thing, and then the hips come out. Oh, I love that on a woman. Misty's got that going on now. Lost 63 pounds, and basically the same type of way of eating that, I mean, we're not eating identical, but the being aware of the carbs and the sugar and the sodas and the breads and all that. But sometimes you do it, but being aware and drastically reducing, you'll drop weight. You will. Watch a YouTube video about it. There's plenty. Um, Adco says, I think I have a good boss. I would not call the president my boss because I just never have liked those words coming out of my mouth. But he is an excellent leader, and I am very glad we have him in the position that we do. And Mr. Parker's becoming quite a mentor to me. I've learned more already than I could ever have hoped for just from conversations that we have. So yeah, Trucker Jim is a happy camper. Jim Dunn says, "Hey buddy, headed to your state tomorrow. I got a delivery in Anderson, South Carolina. Never been to South Carolina. You've never been to South Carolina, Jim? My goodness. Auburn, Alabama tonight. Any advice on going through Atlanta in the morning?" I mean, man, people give it, this bad rep of horrible traffic. And there are times where it is, especially if there's a wreck or somebody's pulled over or something like that. You just kind of creep along. But I tell you, the worst part of Atlanta, like if you're coming up from 65, is that loop that goes, 20 where Six Flags is, 75 to head to like Chattanooga and the Lowe's, DC, to 85 to head to like Greenville, South Carolina. That whole area, that's the worst. That's the worst of it all. Like the whole other circle, which it's more of a distance, you can make it quicker than what I just described. So if you're coming from the south headed north, go around by the airport and all that where you just merge onto 85. It's about tit for tat distance wise, but I promise you it'll be faster, especially if you're anywhere in the vicinity of any kind of rush hour traffic. But that's my advice. Let's see. Lone Wolf, what's going on, man? Lone Wolf, you are overseas, but not for much longer, if I remember. And you're going to get over here and start trucking around America. That is good stuff. And whatever company that you go with, I can't remember where you're at, but there's some kind of VA program. I'm not calling it the right thing, man, because it didn't affect me personally or anything. But you get signed up on this, and like GMP, they're one of the partners on this. They just have to submit something once a month from you, and I think you get like extra $1,200. Well, I mean, if you needed the CDL, it would pay for that. But in addition to your pay that you're making at whatever trucking company that you're at, in addition to that, from the government, you'll get like an extra $1,200. It won't be in your trucking company's paycheck, but for working at a trucking company. I mean, you probably already know about that because I know you do research and watch a lot of stuff. But some of you may not know about that. As far as you veterans getting out of the service, wanting to come into trucking, which not a bad choice, not a bad choice at all. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Yes, I am. I go straight through North 85. You get living expenses while OJT training equal to E by. I don't even know what he's talking about, but I do know what he's talking about. It's about that thing I was talking about, but I'm not going to repeat that. I'm caught up on the comments. So I gave a little recap of what happened in season 3, like from, the summertime, whenever that was, till now, the last video of season 3. Now we're going to ask, what's next for Trucker Jim? Well, I wrote a few things down, and we're going to talk about them right now. I just have to turn the page. It says next level here. Yes, the video making it's going next level. It is. Um, I ain't gonna say everything's gonna happen instantly in the next one. Oh my God! But there's gonna be two two channels that I'm managing. One that's a major priority is the G and P channel, and like this is going to be different stuff in different locations all the time. Some's going to be like green screen. There's been several green screen videos. It looks like we're in a news studio, but as time goes on, I'm going to be using some other kind of background than the one I've been using, but I've stayed with the same one. We've got like a title sequence where all the videos on the GMP channel start and end the same way, which that's good. Now, did anybody watch that like I can't use this, but it's cool video? It was like 18 seconds long or something like that. What that was an opening. I'm gonna have like a little opening thing, like all your shows and your favorite people that you watch do this, but an opening, like each video, I might just start like this and say, all right, now roll that opening intro, and this will start. But I kept having the copyright thing, and you can't have your freaking opening, give you a copyright thing, because in every freaking video you do, whether you have music in it or not, you can't monetize. It's all copyrighted thing. Y'all, I've got this trimmed down where it's using 8 seconds of this song by the Congos. Come with me now. Actually, let's see. I can do it on my iPad. I'm actually getting a pretty good setup. This iPad is hooked to this speaker right here, right? Well, it's actually up here, and I've got my Mac here that I can read the comments on, or the phone, either one. But let's see, library. But this song recently added. Here we go. Here we go. And I know it's going to get a copyright thing on me, but I don't really care. But have y'all heard this before? Let me skip up a little bit. So, I want y'all to hear the chorus. I love that song though, and I would keep wanting it to be in my video for my intro. Is "Come with Me Now." On the trucking journey kind of thing. That's awesome, right? Man, I keep trimming it and trimming it. I've got it where, like I said, there's 8 seconds of it is all I'm using, and it's picking up the copyright thing. But I've got it saved as a combo file. And the first video that I do for the season 4, I'm gonna have that intro in it, and we'll see if it picks it up inside of the video. But I tried like 7 attempts, so it kept finding it immediately. But well, let me come on down the line. I'm probably getting to it. But as far as next level, really, what I'm personally going to be. Oh, also in season 3, I got on a thing which viewership was very, very down during me talking about goal setting and preparing for goal setting. But you guys you're gonna see a lot of awesome things happen here on this channel. And I'm not talking about just to me either. Lots of others are going to be affected. But the next level I'm talking about is just developing skill set and relationships. Like I'm very excited about like hanging out with people smarter than me. You know what I'm saying? Like people you can learn from instead of just teaching and training others, getting some training and some teaching yourself, and especially in the video making and the editing world. Because the better I get at it, and the more I learn about it, the more I realize how much I don't know. And I mean, that's a God's honest truth right there. I mean, it really just punches you in the face after you learn a few things, because then you realize things you don't know how to do yet. Um, but it's a process, it's cool. Ain't nothing to get all negged out about or anything. I mean, it's awesome, and I'm excited about it. Let's see. I've got stay inspired, pay attention, manage time, and 8 good working habits. Yeah, I'm glad I wrote that down. Those are all things I want to stay focused on, just staying inspired. That's why I'm not going to work and drive truck on the weekends. I've tried that some this year, and I can just see potential of getting run down. And I want to have it where the Monday through Friday thing, I'm just all over it. I'm a ball of energy, and I just like freak people out with my dedication towards it. But then the weekend, it's my time, and that's also when I want to work on some other side projects. And I got to pay attention, because this GMP thing, this is a big deal on a lot of levels, but it would be so easy to mess it up. As far as where there's a customer kind of thing, you can mess it up that way. Or I mean, you know how sensitive people and everything are. Any kind of demeanor or seclusion, I don't know. The list could go on and on. Or things that the lawyers wouldn't. But I kind of just go by every video I make. Would I be okay sitting there in front of Mr. Parker watching it? And if the answer to that is yes, hey, I figured the video's okay. Also, managing time, which I've been doing okay at this, but there's a lot of room for improvement, and that's using a calendar. And then I almost want to start season 4 out with this subject. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. But I kind of was digging through old memories and everything, and because I'd started using the 5 steps when I was using the 5 steps again when I was starting to work on planning videos. So I do an intro short story presentation as far as the structure of videos that I was making, and I guess that got me thinking about the 8. But what would you guys think about a video that's called the 8 Good Working Habits of Trucking? What you think, guys? The 8 Good Working Habits of Trucking. And it would be habits. Because you guys used to hear me say all the time, it's work ethic and attitude. Attitude and work ethic. That's what works for me. That's what you got to focus on, is work ethic and attitude. And as I got to watching back me, saying those things, I was like, that's not quite right. It's not just that, because you could be working hard as shit and going nowhere. If doing the right thing, you're just exerting yourself for the sake of doing it. So just hard work, that's not the answer. It's more than that. And a big part of any successful journey, I don't care whose story, whose book you're reading, or whatever it is, they develop habits along the way. They did. Boom! Thanks for the super chat, Candace and Tim, $4.99. Where you get that tandem stopper? We want one. You can order one off Amazon. There's 2 different ways. You can just like Google search or Amazon search tandem stopper. You'll see something come up. I think they're about $30 or so. Or you can go to Tractor Supply. They've got something that's shaped the same way and the same size. It's, I don't know, something for a bush hog or whatever. I can't remember the size and parameters. But that's the tandem stoppers for you guys that don't know. And great little plug there. Candace and Tim. This is where you can do what I like to call slide with precision as far as your tandems. You guys know how it is. If you just need to go up a couple holes and you go too far and everything. Well, with this, you kind of got to get the whole understanding of how it works. But you can put it in a hole, and when it slides, your trailer go in either direction. It don't matter. Will bump it, and it won't go any further than that. That's why I say slide with precision. But you like put it like ahead of the one you actually want it. But then boom, you're good to go, and your weights are right once you get the hang of it and everything. Every time, it's pretty cool. Um, yeah, but the 8 good working habits. I'm in the planning stages of it now, as far as how I want to shoot it and cover everything in a concise manner that the video is not too long. But let me know what you guys think. Would that be a video you would definitely want to watch? Is something I'd put together called the 8 good working habits of trucking. I'm expecting that's going to happen. Okay, the G&P channel has lots of videos set the standard. Like I don't know what other trucking companies are doing, and I know that's probably a little naive, and maybe I should. But ever since I started with GNP, I hadn't really cared what other trucking companies were doing because I wasn't working for them, and I didn't see myself leaving GNP to go work for other trucking companies, so I wasn't worried about it. But I'm sure there's a lot of companies out there that's doing a lot of good things that could learn from. But as far as what's going on with the GMP channel at this point in it, anyway, we ain't copying nobody. We don't know who to copy. Is the thing. So we're figuring out as we go. But if you hadn't checked out any of the videos on the channel, I think they're good, guys. And it's a lot of fun having somebody else in the video. The first few people that I have, they were kind of bumbling and stumbling, and it was, a lot of them and me figuring out what was going to be said during it. So that was more challenging and a harder edit to do, and taking out the ums and all that. But I had the last few videos, man, I had some pros like Mr. Parker. Oh, man, that video was so easy to do. I set the camera down, and I had this big, long, complicated thing planned out. I thought that's what I wanted to do with the video, right? I set the camera down, hit record, sat down, and I had one in my hand. And Mr. Parker just sat there and talked for 7.5 minutes, looking at me with my camera and the one I had back and forth. And I kind of, tried to put it together the best I could. Boom, and just put an intro, outro, and that was it. Like his thing, it was one take. And I know some of you have seen that video, and it was, I mean, it makes you want to call your cousin and get him over there just because he would have a happier life because it's a great place to work, kind of thing. I mean, it was a great video from a president of a trucking company. Like I loved it. It was one take, one, boom. All right, I got what I need, Mr. Parker. Thanks. Get back to work. Which that was pretty cool. But there's going to be a lot of things going on with the GMP channel. What, I don't know altogether, but if some of the things I have visioned is I want to start making 2-3 minute videos for our shippers and receivers that are quick, like just give a trucker the skinny on what he needs to know to get in and out of the place, as quick and safe as possible, and, make it easier on, you know, the consignee or the shipper or whatever it is, along with the truck driver. That may take a little while to come together, but I have asked for a list of our 5 least favorite clients that I can practice this kind of stuff with before going to the big ones. But it's going good. It's on the right track. Now, some of you that keep up, I'm going to answer this question that just popped up. Mike Johnson asked, "How is Elvis doing?" I talked to Elvis. Let's see, it was yesterday morning. Elvis was in great spirits. I always enjoy all the conversations I have with Elvis. It's been that way since the first conversation I had with Elvis. But he's up in West Virginia. He's on I guess what you call a leave of absence for GMP right now. But he says GMP is being super cool and understanding with him. Like, Elvis's dad got really, 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 really sick. Almost died. They thought his organs were getting ready to shut down. He was all septic on the inside, within a hospital like 2 hours away from where Elvis and them are from in West Virginia, the hospital in Charleston, I believe. It wasn't looking good. And then, there went a period where he wasn't getting any better. Well, he got better. His dad's home now. He still ain't, he still ain't right. He's still sick and weak, but he's home. And well, Elvis's dad is a truck driver too, and he has, his own truck. It's like a 2012 Cascadia, I believe is what it is. And he has regular runs that he did. Like Elvis's dad's a hard-working dude. I mean, he's a successful guy. Does stuff with cars, but also he's a truck driver too. And he's got some kind of like local seed delivery, not seed, but feed delivery, and I don't know, farming, agriculture kind of things is a vibe I got from it. So Elvis has been there helping out with that, and he's been doing his dad's deliveries, and he's expecting he's going to be doing that for at least another month, and we'll just have to see how things go with his dad and all that. But Elvis said like 100 of you guys reached out to him when I kind of gave the previous update, and he was very, very thankful for all of that. It meant a lot to him that all of you cared enough to reach out to him, and he wanted me to tell all of you thanks, and he loves you all. But oh, Elvis, me and Elvis are missing each other. He said, "I miss you, Jim." I was like, "Man, I miss you too, Elvis." I've been trying to think how can I work it out where me and Elvis can go team up again, run a week, which I'm going to be out on the road 4 days this week. Hopefully, I've put in a request to get by a couple of terminals because I'm going to put like a video together for each of our terminals and drop yards. It ain't going to be anything extensively long. It's just going to be covering the basics of what a driver needs to know. And the way this content that I'm gearing, it's really like geared for the guy who just started, that's in his first 90 days or his first 6 months at GMP Trucking. Cause just like probably anywhere else here at GMP Trucking, our lowest turnover rate or highest, whatever the one where people quit and leave, the highest time period for us is the driver's first 90 days. With us, if they can make it past the first 90 days, they usually hang around a while. They're doing pretty good. But, here at GMP anyway, man, when you first start, it's kind of hard because you go a lot of different places, and some of them are kind of screwed up and, don't really, I mean, they don't do things the same way as other places do, and it can screw you up the first time, especially if you're tired or whatever. You've been running your clock out for 4 or 5 days in a row, and there's a lot of opportunities to make some mistakes during that. When you make mistakes, that ain't never good, you know. It's not. It's not. And those kind of things happen a lot in the first 90 days. But after that, I think the biggest reason is like here anyway, drivers start going back to the same place. And well, as long as you're paying attention to what you're doing and learning from your mistakes, you don't make the same mistakes then, and you start getting smoother and smoother that the longer you're here. And, heck, after, I'm getting close to 3 years. I don't know. It's second nature. But the Trucker Jim channel, we're just going to have to see what all happen. I do intend to go to the truck shows this year. The next one is going to be Matt's in Louisville. It's the end of next month. It is my intention to be there. I've started having discussions with GMP, but I need to continue to have that with Greg, because I would like it if there was some kind of way me going to the truck show could be a benefit to GMP. So, I'm wanting to find out what their opinion on that is, and definitely make sure that I do that. But I'm sure there's going to be some video making, but also some hanging out and some networking and some learning some new stuff, and hell, there'll be new products up there and seeing old friends. So, yeah, I can't wait for that. But the Video Purposes channel, that like, I don't know how many of you guys know, but I started a business. That's right. I filed the paperwork, all that. I can pay taxes if I ever make any money with it, but it's called Video Purposes 44. I've already got an email and a channel set back. Hadn't any content been on there, but that's kind of I don't know. It's evolving. It's hard to tell you exactly what it is because there's nothing that's occurred yet. Now, boom, boom, boom. You remember like a few years ago, I made this video. I said, I want a MacBook, I want a drone, I want a Canon camera with a microphone on top. And I want to start making cool videos, right? Well, I got all that equipment and then some. Well, it's that time again. There's some equipment upgrade that I want to do. And what it is another camera. Now, this is a camera that, like, this here this is great for like how I've been using it as far as vlogging, with this little flip out thing, especially with the wide angle lens, the 10 to 18 millimeter, which my head's not being cut off anymore. You can see, around me. Well, actually, let me turn it on. It's great. It really is. Where it's not great is when I'm filming other people. I'm walking and moving with it. Or where I really notice it, if there's someone on stage and there's low lights and things like that, that vlogging type camera, it does not do good visually. Now with the microphone, it picks up the sound, fine, great actually. So I've always been a Canon guy since I've been into cameras. But my next one's going to be a Sony. That's right, a Sony A7 III. This is a $2,200 camera, guys. With the lens and everything. And it's a lens. It's got a wide range, kind of comparable to like what the 80D. If I would have spent a couple $100, well, $300 or $400 more when I bought my camera, I could have got a Canon that would have been better than what I currently got, but it still wouldn't have been as good as this Sony A711. And it's going to be set up as a whole nother camera setup. So it'll have a microphone on top too. But also instead of the whole tripod gorilla, legs like this, which they kind of get wore out after a little while and they can fall over with the camera. With it, I want a gimbal, a handheld, a handheld gimbal like I've got with my phone, but on the big camera that makes it buttery smooth. But wait till you guys see footage with this Sony camera. And I hadn't really learned. You guys hadn't seen me color grade. Yeah, that's something I'm going to be working on as well. But you can make just colors just pop and just depth of field and everything and all the video that you shoot, which this will be a camera I'm behind. I'm filming other people or I'm filming trucks moving or I'm in the back of my truck, my Chevy, right, with a GMP truck going down the interstate. I'm in the back of the truck. Somebody else is driving and I'm filming, getting shots of that. And it's freaking smooth as butter. And the color of the truck and the sky and everything just looks good. And it's so, just beautiful footage. That's what will happen with this new Sony. I'll still have my my vlogging camera. It'll have its time I use it, but the Sony camera, it'll be my workhorse. It's what I'll use the most. And I'm starting to get some lights. This is one of the things I told you I could do a quick review for it, but it charges, right? There's not batteries in it, and there's a clip, so you can clip it on things, and then there's a hook too, right? So you can hook it on things. And I don't have anything magnet, but this is a magnet, and this is a magnet, so it'll stick on things. But if you hit that, right, it comes on. You hit it again, it goes off. You hit it, it comes on, right? But if you hold it, can you see it doing that? It's dimming now, and then it gets back bright. But it goes back and forth from 10% to 100%. But yeah, that's a light. And then I use this light here in a video with GMP. This APU is like, you guys can't see it because it's dark back there, right? But there's a control panel for the APU. And he was doing that, and I was standing back here with my Canon camera that I got. And I was like, man, that's dark. So I set this up on one of my little light stands that I have, right? But this does not have to be plugged in, and you don't put AA batteries. This is, a good lithium battery that charges in. But if I hit that, that brings this on, right? But, you can dim it. There's a little control panel right here, but check this out. It's color! And you can turn this, like each little click, click, click thing is a different color. And there's 300 of them. If I order that like green right now. Yeah, but this was like $120 light right here. And as far as the video, I've used it once so far. But I that's awesome. I'm going to need more lights than just this one. But I'm learning lighting as well. Um, and then also, I've been learning some green screen stuff. I am far from an expert at this, but I've gotten to the point where it don't look horrible yet. It, it's looking okay. Let's see. And I'm thinking, I want to get a portable green screen. Like I can green screen here at the Greer yard, but nowhere else. Unless I want to take that thing apart and, all this and set it up each time, which, I mean, there's worse things that, you would have to do, but, yeah, that, I don't know, it's just time consuming and hauling all this stuff around. And I already have enough stuff to haul around just with the regular camera gear and MacBooks and batteries and all of that. But that's all I got, guys. That's what happened in season 3. Here's the things that's on my plate right now as far as going forward season 4 and G and P and getting to the point where getting myself ready for what I want to do 3 years from now. But we're going to check some comments and then we will call it a wrap, guys. But I appreciate everybody tuning in and the 32 thumbs up, the 34 people that's watching. That's pretty good. Ooh, I have went long, haven't I? I'm going to check these comments and this is over, okay? Okay, we talked about Elvis. Moon Pie, what's going on, Jim? I met you once at the Columbia Terminal. I work at GMP April to August last year. Okay, right on, Kim. Um, okay, somebody's talking about the veteran program. Yeah, Elvis and I, we were a good team. I love that guy. You bought that nice truck and you don't drive it. Oh, I drive it. I drive it. Like it's parked right beside this truck right now. I gotta go park in the parking lot because I'm gonna be gone for a few days and I won't drive it. Which I'm just getting due for my first oil change in it, so I'm probably gonna call and skip. Well, I don't know. I may just buy the oil and go to my mom's house. I can change it myself there instead of taking it to a dealership or whatever. Hey, I was born in Princeton, West Virginia. I'm down in Florida delivering reefer in Tampa, about an hour. Well, right on. Okay, I keep getting about the traveling wheelbarrows end of the line for a video intro. Yeah, maybe that won't show up as bad copyright wise. We're gonna see if that this one I got and the first time that I use it just kind of inside a 10, 12 minute video, if it picks up that 8 seconds of that song, then I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board. But that's one of the hardest things. Well, having an idea of a video to shoot because I don't really like doing just the run and gun, whatever happens kind of videos now, and finding the right music. Once you have your music down, man, it just flows after that. But when you got to start over with music, it's challenging for me when you done edited to the beat of something else. Does GMP out of Columbia, Missouri? Let me know. I don't think they do, Kevin. I don't think we really mess with Missouri. Don't do a whole lot in Mississippi. But Birmingham and Louisville and, our regular areas. Down in Texas, Laredo, there's some opportunities for somebody out of Laredo for GMP. But we do have a limited hiring area, guys. That's one of the drawbacks. Food Mood says Sony A7. Yeah, the A7 III is the one I want. You know, it's got the button in the place where a button needs to be instead over on the side. And I don't know, there's a couple other little fixes on that. Big shout out to the staff at Best Buy in Greenville, South Carolina. I have gained a lot of education just from them being educated on gear. I really never missed PA. I know what you mean. I lived there for a little while, and I have not missed it, not for a second. My mother keeps telling me to come visit. Misty says she misses Florida. I dig the headphones. Great new series. All right, I am caught all up with the comments, guys. So I guess I'm going to end this one. It's an hour long. I normally don't like to go that long, but hey, I guess time flies when you're having fun. I'm gonna play a little music though before we end it. What would you guys rather hear? Come with me now, or Greta Van Fleet? Let's see. Can you guys hear that? I hear it in my headphones. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Get excited about what's coming. And I'm really excited about these 8 good working habits of trucking. You guys probably never heard of them, right? All right. Well, I'm out, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you next time. But until then, be safe out there.